Good evening. Today we are going to see the lacing system, that is connecting lacing system, single and double lacing. So now in this we are going to see all the clauses, and as well as we are going to see in this how we are going to design this lacing system. So we have this list column, you can see this. So here my radius of gyration about the axis perpendicular to the plane of lacing, that is RYY, not less than radius of gyration about the axis parallel to the plane of lacing, that is RZZ. Then we have to go for lacing system uniform throughout the length of the column. So we have this lacing system. Actually, if you will see this diagram, then we have this as mirror image. So you can see for A, we have on this side, and for B, we have on opposite side. And this is preferred. This is given in IS. Similarly, for double lacing, we have in this fashion. Then for double lacing and with crossbars, we are going to see these are not going to be connected. That is, crossbars and lacings are different one. Then effective slenderness ratio, actually to calculate FCD or capacity of the column, we have to increase by 5%. That is as per clause number 7.6.1.5. Then we have single lacing system. Angle for single lacing system and double lacing system, we have same clause 7.6.4 that ranges between 40 to 70 degrees. Then we have spacing of lacing. So we have this value, you can see this. The maximum slenderness ratio of the component of the main member A1 upon R1 between consecutive lacing connection is not greater than 50 or 0.7 times the most unfavorable slenderness ratio of the member as a whole. What is A1 is the unsupported length of the individual member between lacing points, and R1 is the minimum radius of gyration of the individual member being laced together. Now you can see we are going to lace these two members, that is, this is one channel and this is another channel. We have this channel back to back. Now in this you can see we have, this is length of lacing, spacing of lacing, and this spacing of lacing is nothing but the unsupported length of the individual member. So we have to calculate this SL, and SL upon RYY. And this value they are going to say 50 or 0.7 into lambda whole, that is unfavorable. And SL we can find, we know S plus 2G, as we have spacing between the channels. And from this G we have gauge distance, so this distance. And from this we are in position to calculate value of SL. And knowing value of SL, we can find SL upon RYY. This we have for single lacing system, and for double lacing we have SL value or unsupported length of the channel, individual channel, that we are going to get half of this. So we are going to get, this will be SL. So this will be exactly half compared with this. Here we have to calculate actually this value, and this value we have directly SL in double lacing, but for single lacing we have to multiply it by 2. And then we have, this will be SL upon RYY, that will be less than 50 and 0.7 into lambda whole. And this is given in clause number 7.6.5.1. Now then we have in single lacing system, we are going to find out this transverse shear, which will be 2.5% of the axial force, and it shall be divided equally among all transverse lacing system in parallel planes. So in case of single lacing system, we have, this will be transverse shear as per clause number 7.6.6.1 V by N, and number of planes we have actually in these two, that is on both sides, both faces. In case of transverse shear, we have 4 lacing parallel, so we are crossing each other on both sides, so it becomes actually 4. So N is 2 here, but transverse shear is V by 2N. Now compressive force we have V upon N cosec 45, and here V upon 2N cosec 45. Then we have width of lacing bar. According to 7.6.2, we have 3 times the nominal diameter of the end bolt. So we have 3 into nominal diameter of the bolt which we are using for connections. Generally it is taken as 16 millimeters. Then we have thickness of the lacing bar. Now we have clause number 7.6.3 and you can see this for single lacing system we have this value. The thickness of the flat shall not be less than 1/40th of its effective length for single lacing system. And for double lacing system, we have 1/60th. So we have this will be 1/40 LC and 1/60 LC. And that is as per clause number 7.6.3. Then R minimum, we have T by root 12. So actually, we are going to find out that R is equal to under root of I by A. And I, we have root of bt cube by 12 and a we have b into t, and in this b get cancel, 1t get cancel, and we will get root of t square by 12, and this t square t comes outside, we have below 12 because we have flat, and therefore for flat we have b d cube by 12. Same for double lacing system. Now here we have that is the slenderness ratio KL upon R of the lacing bar shall not exceed 145, and we have to find out length of the lacing, and for this one R minimum we have already calculated, and we have this value shall be less than or equal to 145, that is slenderness ratio of lacing. Then we have PD, we have to calculate this PD, this is for lacing system, this is for lacing, and AE into FCD, slenderness ratio we have calculated in last step, and then we have to multiply AE, that is B into T, that is width into thickness of the flat. And same way we have to calculate here, we have to calculate TD also, and that TD we have minimum of TDG and TDN, and that also should be greater than compression.